we had spoken, I think we discussed about Baba's Gujarati Arti last week, and I was sort of not prepared well at the time, so we could go over it, but we also had few inputs on the transliteration, right? About to keep it consistent across all the lines and all that. So I have done some work on that. I think we will go over the Gujarati Arti once again, uh, going word by word and giving emphasis on the pronunciation of the words, and then I would I would want your inputs if we need to improve this even further, right? We spoke about I think there was one feedback around the syllables that are pronounced. Example, when we say Jallat, so do we have to indicate the extra syllable at the end of the word or not? So I thought we will discuss that today, but we should be in a better shape today than what we were last week. And we can probably go to the Hindi Aarti next week, but let's focus on Gujarati Aarti and see if we have any more questions. Let me
Sounds
share my
good.
screen. So I don't think we need an introduction about this Aarti, which we spoke last week, but just to give a recap, um, as per the information in Mehra Meher, Mehra recalls that this Aarti was written by Baba in in late 1924 or early 1925, when they were staying in Bombay. Baba was awake uh, all through the night, and he was listening to a street singer from his window during the night. And the next morning, Mehra recalls that Baba had written this arti in Gujarati on a piece of paper, and then he had read uh, this uh, to the mandali, and apparently Baba had also composed the melody of the song, and there's another version that is there in Lord Meher that says that this arti was composed after Baba has begun silence, which was in July 1925. So this arti was, as per that version, it was written in 1926, but it still remains a mystery. But the early disciples and all those along with Mehra, they remember that it was written before silence. And there was one incident that Roshan Kerawala recalls Baba saying that, I'll just read that quote. As recalled by Roshan's daughter Mehra, Baba told Roshan Kerawala that the Bujawe Arti was the most potent of all the prayers in this Advent. I would be present wherever and whenever this prayer is sung. We will now move into the transliteration. So, the convention that I am following is wherever we have a long A, uh, we will represent this as A with a dash on top of A. Example, Nar is N A dash R. And we, I have not included the extra syllable for now, so we can go over each word, and wherever we have a question, we can decide whether it will be easier to include that on the transliteration, or should we record? I mean, or should we learn it from the recording of the pronunciation? So let me start with the first verse, and you can stop me wherever you feel we need to improve this, or wherever we have a question. Anyone has a question? अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. बुझावे नार जहलत नी, ए कर कुदरत ने फरमा तू. बुझावे नार जहलत नी, ए कर कुदरत ने फरमा तू. छे लागी आश भक्तों ने, के बख्शे नूरे ईमा तू. छे लागी आश भक्तों ने, के बख्शे नूर ए ईमा तू. What does this mean? May you command the divine power to extinguish the fire of our ignorance. Your lovers yearn for you to bestow upon them the light of faith. Do you all think this way of transliteration is easy to learn, or is there any confusion this way?
It's very good, Gopi, because it is in line with the standards that WordParks uses for transliterating all of Meher Baba's Gujarati quotes, and it's in line with the industry standards. So I think it's very, very good. This is so helpful. Thank
Sure,
you.
Farishta, thanks. Yeah. So yes.
May I add that I still enjoyed last week when we could see the meaning of each word. So because I know that every time one makes a translation, it's always, there's an interpretation there as well for style.
Yeah.
And it was nice to know what those words meant. So I like both.
Yeah, and maybe this could be enhanced in that way, in that just inserting the meaning of each word would be just make it super, super great.
Yes. I had that thought, and I wanted to get your inputs on that. So what we'll do is we had this version last time where we had the meanings of each word next to the word. We will embed that, or we can have another
Another. Yeah,
another version.
Yeah.
We can keep this as is, and then have another text here along with the meanings of each word.
Yes, that way we can, when singing, we can just focus on the transliterated version.
Yeah.
There's one more problem, and that is the problem that I found when I wanted to learn how to sing it, that when we sing it, we don't sing each word by itself. We sing with stoppages in certain words, and like Premano, like it's how do you say, divided. The word is not sing like you sing Bujawe Naar, and so you put two words together, and then half a word goes to the other side. And I think just to make this division clear when we're singing is important.
I hear what you're saying, Michal. The thing is, though, this is true to what the word is. And, I think maybe that part is the hearing part is a different thing than the written part. I don't know. I just think I'd like to keep the purity of the actual word.
Yeah, I like to see the word, and also what was it last week with all the translations of each word, which are very nice. But when we sing, it's different. So I think those three parts should be like how it is with words, then how it is with the translation, and how it is when you're singing and the words are cut and or pasted to the next word.
You know, Michal, I know what you're talking about, and I agree with you, but I think that also needs a different copy because I actually have one where the musical notation is there, and then you see what syllable is uttered with each note, and
Okay,
then
so
you really get that.
So maybe you can just post that. That's it's important for the singing.
Yeah, I only have it in paper. I don't have it online. I've looked for it online. I can't find it.
You know, Debbie Nordine might have that because I studied this once with her. And what I find difficult is, yeah, it was too long ago and I still don't know the song, except for the melody. What I find difficult is trying to learn it just by the sounds and where you put the breaks, and then trying to look at that and compare it to the actual written English words. And they're so different that you get lost between trying to make sure you're on the right words and where you are in the song. That's my biggest problem with it.
I think these three parts are very important, that you see how the words are, you see how the words in their actual translation, which you brought, which is very beautiful. And what you did last week, I really enjoyed. And seeing in the video because I wasn't in the program. But I know that when I learned it, it was very difficult for me to capture because of this breaking of the words and pasting to the others. So that's what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah. So one problem that can arise when we add a syllable, for example, ekar kudarat. So when I add a after d, and in one other version there was khu or kudrat, and then they added a after d. Uh, the people started to sing it as khuda, ekar khuda ratne farmatu. So that will change the meaning completely. So we have to be careful, or need to have a balance on how do we how do we represent this, or how do we document this. But yes, I think that will what we can do is, once we have this version, we can have another another form where we can break the words as we sing, like the way we sing. Then I would start with the first line. The way we sing is Bujawe Naar Jahalatni Ekar Kudrat ne farmatu Chelagi आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमातु. So, except for the word kudrat, which is kind of elongated or broken when we sing, the other words I think are fitting well. When we write in this format. So I have tried to see that it very closely represents the way we sing it actually, except for the word kudarat. When we say ekar kud, there is a pause after kud just to keep the rhythm of the line. But yeah, so whatever is easy for everyone, we can do that. I can probably I don't know how to represent that. We can have a dash, or
Yes.
Yeah,
That would be
But
good.
don't change this version. This is
Okay.
yes,
I
Yeah,
like
think
I like
think
that
everyone,
idea very much, to put the dash. It would help me. And I just would like to ask you one thing. The lines above the vowels usually indicate the long or the soft vowel. And if it's a straight line, that's a long vowel sound. And if it's a soft, arched line, then that would be the short vowel sound. So when we're doing buja, it should, I think, am I being too picky? It should be a soft, not a straight line for the A sound, right? The ah.
Bujawe. It's a long one.
Ah.
So
I don't
this
see
A,
distinguishing between the short and long here. Are you, Gopi, are you distinguishing
I
between?
don't know.
the way
Too picky,
are
but
you, are you seeing my screen here?
yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, I mean, I'm not an expert in this, but I may need your help. But what I meant when I have added a with a dash on top of the a is that's the long a, bhuja.
Okay.
And the short one doesn't have a dash.
Yes.
Yeah.
But excuse
That's
me,
the
I
convention that
thought
we've
ah is
adopted
a
for,
short sound. When I think of the long sound, it's the A sound, as in way, buja way. That's the long vowel sound. Buja. So the vowels ah, I, o, and the long sound is A, E, I, O, U. So anyway, that's my ideas.
Marilyn,
Okay.
I get the impression that we're have two different meanings for the word long. When we were kids and we learned pronunciation, A was the long sound and ah was the short sound. But I think with Gopal, and tell me if I'm right here, Gopal, what it
Okay.
seems to me is when you say long sound, you mean long in length of time, that you
Yes.
call that.
Um,
Okay.
no. When I meant long, like in Hindi or Gujarati, we have jha and jha as two different letters. So what jha is what we have here, and to transliterate jha, I have used a as a longer a.
Also
A
in the
with a
music, it's
dash.
longer.
Oh,
Sorry.
Also the music is longer. Also the timing
Yeah,
is
the
longer.
the timing, as I said, maybe we can see, for example, kudra, ekar, kuda. There's a pause. We can
Yeah.
we can decide, what should be the convention for such pauses.
Or
We
yeah.
we may have a dash or maybe any other symbol that will indicate
But
that.
you have to distinguish the word dash is being used in two different ways in this conversation. A dash really is two hyphens put together, and that's in the midsection. That long line is called something else. Farishte probably knows what it's called since she's the translator.
I wish I knew. The transliterator is actually Word Parks. And what I do is I use his convention to transliterate Farsi. And his convention has used the letter A with a straight line on top, whatever you want to call it. It's a straight line on top, and it's the long A. And the I with the dash on top is the long E.
Right.
So E. And in Farsi, we have that. Either we have or we have
And
So,
that's the same in musical, when you're studying music in English,
yeah.
it's used the same way, Farishte. So it's really important not to use the word dash for that long, the line up at the
What is
top.
it called, that thing on top?
I'm going to look it up. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
look it up in my dictionary.
All right, we'll be very accurate.
Well,
It's not an umla, it's some other thing. It's, yeah. Anyway, please proceed, Gopal.
Yeah, and I can go over this with Ward and get his inputs as well, so that we can use the best possible convention, and also on how to represent the pauses while singing. I can get his help and then
Okay.
add that as well.
Goes
Okay.
on.
So, Bujawe Naar जहलतनी ए कर कुदरत ने फरमा तू छे लागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमा तू. For the words farma and ima, there's a or uh, sound, which is so it's like n is kind of silent, but we still have that So for that, I have indicated n with a dot on top for the words like farma, ima, and so on. I will move to the next verse. Aya Murshad Meher Baba, चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर. अया मुर्शद मेहर बाबा, चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर. खुदा ना जात थी वाकिफ, थई बैठो मेहरबा तू. खुदा ना जात थी वाकिफ, थई बैठो मेहरबा तू. O Master Meher Baba, we lay our heads at your feet. O Meher Baba, you have made yourself perfectly aware of the state or nature of Godhood. I would sing this verse. Aya Murshad Meher Baba, चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर. खुदा ना जात थी वाकिफ, थई बैठो मेहरबा तू. Any questions on this verse or any feedback?
So beto is a word in itself.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you found it, Elizabeth, but all those marks are called diacritical marks.
Oh, geez.
And that long line one is called a macron, like the
Macron, that's it. Macron.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
which means
president
large.
of France.
It essentially means large, so long.
Macron.
And the
Okay.
pronunciation key in the front of every dictionary gives what each vowel sound is supposed to be like. And of course, A has 3 different sounds, and one is the one with the macron. Yeah, diacritical, but I didn't know it was called a macron. Thank you. Where did you
Thank
find
you.
that so I can look it up later?
The word just came to me out of the general grayness of my mind.
Okay, never mind. Thank you.
But it's in Wikipedia, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you.
It is. I think I got it out of Wikipedia.
Okay,
hang on.
it's probably under diacritical. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll move to the next verse. तू छे मालिक हकीकत नो, तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी. तू छे मालिक हकीकत नो, तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी. तू छे दरियाए वहदत, मारिफत नो होई तूफान. तू छे दरियाए वहदत, मारिफत नो होई तूफान तू.
Could you go
You
in
are the
ultra
Lord of
slow motion? Ultra slow. that line, Tuche Daria. Could you
Okay.
do that one again, but really, really slow?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Meher. This is Marilyn Citus, and I lost power in the whole house here. So I am just calling in now. I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. They're doing some work in this complex, and they said the power's going to go on and off all day.
Okay.
Excuse me for interrupting. I just wanted you to know I am here. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Okay, I will do this verse again. I'll go a little slower. Tu che Malik हकीकत नो तू छे मालिक हकीकत नो तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी तू छे दरिया ए वहदत तू छे दरिया ए वहदत मारिफत नो होई तूफान तू तू छे दरिया ए वहदत दरिया ए वहदत मारिफत नो होई तूफान तू. Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. You are the Lord.
Would you read it one more time? I'm sorry. I think I'm dense.
You know,
Sure.
Elizabeth, this will be posted on YouTube, so you can go back and listen to it many, many times. I just want to make sure we get in the time we get through it all.
Yeah, I can quickly do it once more, and then we can go to the next one. Tu che Malik हकीकत नो तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी तू छे दरिया ए वहदत तू छे दरिया ए वहदत मारिफत नो होई तूफान तू.
Gopi, it's pronounced Vahedat, no? So why is it W?
It's actually Wahadat. So W is what that comes there. Do you think it should be V?
Yeah.
No,
Vagef.
I think in God Speaks it's like that with a W.
Yeah, I've gone through the Platt's dictionary, which is one of the authentic dictionaries. In that, Wahadat is written with a W.
I see. Even though it's pronounced the same as Vagef.
It's actually a wa, not a va. When it's a va, it's with a V, and when it's a wa, it's a W.
Well, I heard Vahedat.
No, it's wahadat.
I mean, I just heard from Gopi.
No, he said wahadat.
I mean, I don't. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see the difference between. So we pronounce it as Wahadat, or Wahadat. So there.
Yeah, in Farsi, it's V for both names, for both words. It's Vaqif and Vahadat. So it's a V sound. Why they differentiated, I'm not sure.
I think it's what is in God Speaks, what Baba said, how to write it that way. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Both Marifat and Wahadat, they're written in God Speaks.
I have a version that has the V, and it's in a book, a songbook, Gujerati Arti.
In God Speaks?
No, it's just a songbook. Gujarati's on one side, phonetics on the other.
That's okay. Minor detail. Let's move on.
Yeah. So and also when we have an Urdu word, right, with an origin from Persian, maybe that can also have a different way of pronouncing. So uh, I the way we pronounce the Persian words, I see that it's entirely different the way the Urdu words are pronounced, though the origin of the word is from Persian or Arabic. So wahadat is is the way the Urdu word is pronounced, and I think the, this convention of writing wahadat as WHADAT is more popular as per what I have observed.
I just checked in God Speaks, and it's written in W, with a W, in all its different Wahadat, Wahadat, and Wahidiyat, and Wahid, and it's all written in W.
It's more of the Arabic pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an Arabic word. I mean, the root of it is Arabic. It comes from unity.
Yeah. Okay.
In
V's
Hebrew,
and
it's
W's are very related anyway, right? V and
yeah.
W. In English, a W is W, but in French it's W,
That's
correct?
right.
Yeah,
That's
so they're very similar letters.
Yeah, W. All right.
You are the Lord of truth. You are the lover and the beloved in one. You are the ocean of oneness, being verily a torrent of infinite knowledge. I would go to the next verse. Hamo Reharav ne. Hamo Reharav ne. E Salek. Bakash je. Gyan Izad nu. Hamo Reharav ne. E Salek. Bakash je. ज्ञान ईजद नु कि तू परमात्मा ज्ञानी छे ने मुख्तार ए इरफा तू कि तू परमात्मा ज्ञानी छे ने मुख्तार इरफा तू. I will sing this verse. हमोर है रब ने ए सालेक बकश जे ज्ञान ईजदनु के तू परमात्मा ज्ञानी छेने मो तारे इरफातू.
Very beautiful.
Any questions or?
It's just a stunning, stunning verse, stunning prayer every time.
Yeah. Yes. O beloved, bestow upon us, wayfarers, the knowledge of Izad. For you, O Paramatma, are omniscient and the divine knowledge itself. Going to the next verse. Khudana premano pyalo pilavi mast हमने कर. खुदाना प्रेमनो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर, छे तुझ पर जान सदके, छे तुझ पर जान सदके, साकिया आपी दे पैमा तू, छे तुझ पर जान सदके, साकिया आपी दे पैमा तू. Give us to drink the cup of God's love and make us intoxicated. We offer our lives in sacrifice to you, O Saki. Give us this cup. Saki is a tavern keeper, or the one who gives the wine, as we all know. Any questions on this verse?
Can you please sing it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Khuda na prem no pyalo pilavi, mast हमने कर, छे तुझ पर जान सदके, साकिया आपी दे पैमा तू.
So in my hearing it, you added an A in 3 places. One after the tuja in the third line. There was one higher up and one further down. Sadake instead of sadke. So in English we'd read that sadke. So I think it was masta hamna kar or something like that, and che tuja par, or maybe it was tuja para. Anyway.
Yes. So that's where we can include those extra syllables within the parenthesis if that doesn't make it cluttered.
That would be good in parentheses, because the thing is, if you're reading it in English, you get lost when those extra syllables go in. I think that's why we get lost.
May I suggest not to add to this, because this is very beautiful as it is, but in a text, just copy this text, and then just everyone can put in their own space, where, because some of the words are divided, and some go with the first word and some go with the next word. So I think that this text should stay as it is and not be handled, but by the side.
I think we already decided that there will be a third version. This will be
and then all the additions and the A's and the partitions and divisions.
Gopi, Khudana, isn't that like a calling, oh God? Or is that a different? Because I don't see that.
In the middle, it says God.
I'm sorry, Mikhail, let me finish. It just says, give us the drink to drink, rather than, oh God, give us the cup.
Yeah, so Khudana is of God, of God's love. Khudana premano pyalo. The word Khudana is of God. Prem is love. Pyalo is the cup.
I see. Okay. Yeah, because I thought it was in Farsi there's Khodaya, and it's like calling to God, oh God. But this is Khudana, which means of God. Okay, thank you.
So
so that says of God's love cup. Is that what it says? Of God's love cup?
Give us to drink, give us the cup of God's love. So the way it is structured in Hindi or Urdu or Gujarati is this way. Khudana premano pyalo. God's खुदा ना प्रेम नो प्यालो. God's love cup. Yeah. So that doesn't make sense in English, but the way it's structured is that way.
Mm-hmm.
खुदा ना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर. By making us drink that cup, make us intoxicated. So must is intoxication or intoxicated. Hum is us. Humne is us. And the word kar means do or
Do.
make. Yeah. Pilavi is to is to make us drink. Is to make someone drink.
Mm-hmm.
छे तुझ पर जान सदके. Che is like in Hindi we have hai, so that is ease, or we offer our lives in sacrifice to you. Che tuj par jaan sadke. Jaan is lives. Sadke is to sacrifice. Tuj par, on you or to you. Che uh, is hai, or it's like offering or any such thing. So, che tuj par jaan sadke. Sakya is again the Saki or the wine giver. Apide paimatu. Apide is giving. Apide, oh, please give. Paima is again the cup. Tu is you. You give us this cup. O Saki, give us this cup. हमारी नाव भर दरिए. हमारी नाव भर दरिए. तरावे तो हमें तरिए. हमारी नाव भर दरिए. तरावे तो हमें तरिए. हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा. हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा. छे निगहबान तू. हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा. छे निगहबान तू. हमारी नाव भर दरिए. तरावे तो हमें तरिए. हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा. छे निगहबान तू. हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा. छे निगहबान तू. बुझावे नार जहलतनी. एकर कुदरत ने फरमा तू. छे लागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमान तू.
Very beautiful song. You sing it so well. Thank you.
What's the difference between Hamari and Hamara?
It is it is only the qualifier before the word that is that follows it. Like example, when we have a feminine gender or a word that is of a feminine, it's usually the word Hamari comes, and then Hamara is used for a if it's not a feminine gender.
Ma-
So that's one explanation I could give, but I will have to come back to you on the
okay.
right difference.
I think the problem is we don't know Hindi. We don't know how the nouns and the verbs work together, and what's modifying what. And I think that's why we can't follow it as easily.
And
then
even Gujarati is even more complex, probably.
yeah,
This being Gujarati.
yeah. So we probably, all the ones who don't know what we're singing don't do it justice, really. We
This
tried.
helps, though. This really does help me. It's for one, I've suffered all these years because I didn't feel like what we were seeing in the prayer books reflected what we were singing, or nor what the meaning was or what the actual word was. So
Yeah.
I think this is just thank you, Baba, and thank you, Gopi. I tried my hand at it once, and Angela says I can't allow changes to the trust-sanctioned, prayer books. So now maybe with you, Gopi, we can make maybe their new version will be printed with more coherent, words.
Yeah, this can be
Na
reviewed further.
Khuda
Yeah.
is masculine. Therefore, Hamara. Na Khuda is a masculine. Therefore,
Yeah.
it is Hamara, not Hamari.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it is a
Yeah.
masculine, feminine thing.
That's the explanation I remembered. Like for example, Nav is the boat or the ship. So I think it's a feminine word.
Thank you.
I'm very bad at grammar, so I can only sing. But I actually tried my best to put these words, and I have done, I think, maybe reasonably good work to know the meaning of each word. So I think we are in a good shape, Baba, by Baba's grace. But I'm not good at grammar, so I won't be able to give you good explanations like Ward does, or maybe Harfarishta you can
You've done
you
great
do.
research, and you've done great help by giving also last week the explanation of each word, and it was very beautiful. And this one also. Thank you very much. You've done really deep work in it. Thank you, and your singing is beautiful.
Matchless.
Thank you, Baba. What I will do next is I will make three versions of this text. One with the meaning of each word next to the Urdu or Gujarati word. So I'll have the English meaning, and the other version would be with the syllables, and also possibly adding the breaks, right? The way we sing it. Like if it's an elongated prema no, I will try and break the word so that we know that it's of a longer length. So what do you all suggest? How do we break the word? Because I'm using dash or a hyphen here between hum ne. Um, Otherwise, this word is written as Hamnay without any breaks, right? It's like hamne, but actually Gujarati, um, yeah, I mean it can be one word, but it will really make sense because hum is like we,
Yeah.
and ne hamne means to us or of us, so that kind of word.
So
Um,
So
Gopi, the convention I think Ward and I were using and are using is a dash. So if there is a word that's like ends a Farsi word with a, but it's not actually written in the Farsi word, it's just a accent, then we put a dash and an e to say a, and a dash and an a to say that way. So that would be a suggestion to keep with that convention. If people might get confused with that, the parentheses is another option. But I personally would recommend sticking with one convention that's common in Baba books and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Debbie Nordine, she did the version that I tried to learn one other time using Bujawe Naar transliterations, and she also put in the breaks and wrote it differently. I mean, you might just want to talk with her and see if she has some ideas, but she also understands diacritical marks and what they mean because she's a voice teacher. And then one other thing I wanted to say, the V and W in some languages are interchangeable, but how you pronounce them is different places in the mouth. So V and W are just different ways of using the aspirant form of a similar sound. So anyway, you basically end up having to choose whatever is what is used in that particular language, and then the singer has to know what the right sound is, whether it's a W or a B.
May I suggest from my experience that these two versions that you did, the one with all the exact translations and this one, and then just that everyone would have this one and divide it as they hear it, because I think that, and each one make their own signs, not that Gopi would do that, that each would break the words when they are broken, when Gopi is singing, and you follow it and you see that it's broken and it attaches itself to the next word, then each one would make its own sign how to read it privately, and not that Gopi would do that, because that would be a mess, I'm sure.
Unfortunately, I think some people, Mikhail, don't have those
not
abilities.
to use Gopi's version, and they can choose to use their version. But I think it's good to have one common version. And if people don't want to use that version because they don't hear it the same way, they can do their own version.
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest, rather than 20 different versions out there.
Yeah, fair
No.
say, I agree with you, only because some people don't have the ability. They can't hear it, or they don't know how to break it down, and they wouldn't know how to do it. Just some people have different skills than others. Some are more musical than others.
Yeah.
And for those who don't have those skills and can't do what Mikhail can do, or maybe I can do, or you can do, they need that. And actually, I mean, it's helpful to me too, because I never seem to get the A's in the right place.
Yeah, I kind of like the parentheses idea, like in masta, like that would be a parentheses E, right? If you want to show what masta was sounding like.
Right.
Yeah. You may say masta. Do you think A would come in the parenthesis, or
It would
A, not E.
Yeah.
E is a different sound.
Yeah.
So good.
And it's a short A instead of a long A, because a long A is ah. A short A is the one you just said, like in hat. Ah.
Yeah.
So Gopi, do you have down below this document the meanings that you had given us before? Is that in the same document?
Yeah, it is, but I'm going to make it a bit more. I mean, I'm going to share this and then
Yeah, consistent with the above.
May I ask something technical? As I don't know how to take this down in order to print it, and I don't have a printer. I have to send it to someone to print it out. So how should I do that? Anyone have idea?
I'm hoping this will be emailed to Angela, and she can post it on the YouTube underneath this.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she can email to me, so
When,
I
when
can.
it's all done, when it's finalized.
Fine, thank you. That's important, thank you.
There's also a
So,
way of doing it by doing share and then you download it or something to some, I don't know what device you're using, but it depends on your device. There's a way to do it. And then
Yeah,
you
but
have
I
the
don't know how
document.
to share. And I have an
Yeah.
iPad, I don't know how to do that. So, and email is very good for me.
Yeah, okay. Me too. I agree.
Thank you.
Farishte, this one, like for example, Reharav Ne, right? Reharav is wayfarers. Ne is us, right? Us wayfarers. Hamo or Hamo Reharav Ne. No, it's not us. Sorry, it's um, Hamo is us. Reharav is wayfarers. Ne is it's like to or of, right? So what is this the right way of
Yes,
dividing Reharav and Ne?
yes, I think so. I mean, you don't even need a dash because they're two separate words. That it's not a continuation of the same word, is it? Or is in Gujarati one word?
Um,
Raharavne.
so yeah, I think that depends. So in sometimes in Hindi or Gujarati, for example, if say humne in Hindi is uh, hum is me, ne is have, right? If in English we say I have done this.
Mm-hmm.
But in Hindi, sometimes they write hum space ne, or sometimes they club the word humne,
Hamne, yeah.
right? So there are different conventions. So what and in other transliterations of this arti, this was written as rehrav ne,
As one
right? So
word.
yeah.
Hmm.
So the reason I have done the split is to indicate that though it can be clubbed, but they
Yes.
both of them exist as different words.
I
But
like
when
the
we
dash
sing,
in that response. I like the dash idea because it gives you the whole word as one word, fluid, but it conveys that it's two different words, and you
Yeah,
can see that rahrav independently of this nay some other place.
right.
but when you sing this, it's very strange because when you sing hamore, the re at the beginning of rahav, you attach to hamore, and that's how you sing it.
No,
Why it
Hamore
was confusing.
ravne, that
no,
ravne saleh. So hamore at the re goes with hamor.
Yeah, I
So
see
that
the
is why,
confusion, but now
but in
that
this
we
line
know
once
the
again,
meanings,
it's like
now
ma'am.
that
yeah.
we know the meaning,
Hamore ravne esa. Yeah, that's because of of the length of the line again. So we can add those breaks. So there is after reh, there is a break, and then the
Right,
word rav comes. So it's
right.
hamore ravne
So
Ne.
rehe. So
So
it's like
ne goes
two
together
e's.
and
Rehe,
hamore goes
hama.
together.
So that's what I will add in the other version of this, where we will have the syllables in the parenthesis as well as the breaks in the word, as we sing it, the way we sing it.
So
okay.
So
Gopi, I just heard that you actually put in a vowel after the H. So hamo re ha ravne a. So did you do that or did I
Hamore.
mishear?
No,
um,
hamore rav.
I'll sing that. Yeah, I'll sing it again. Hamore ravne a. So there's a sound that's coming.
It
Can you
goes
do it one more time?
hamore.
Hamore ravne a sale.
Yeah,
So would you put like a
there's a little
parentheses
sound.
e after the h, like
Right,
hamorehe, to
right,
show
Yes.
that he?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reharav.
So all the
And
sounds that are not part of the word, you're going to put in parentheses.
Yes.
Okay, I think that would be much more clear,
Yeah.
much clearer.
And also
and
the third line is also divided. Ketupa Hamore Ravne Isale Pakashche Ketu Parama Parama is divided. I don't know how to sing it now, but the Param Atma is divided also.
Ketu
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Mahatma.
there's an A after, a short A after the T.
No, after
Yeah.
Para, you have a division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, the division is for the singing, and the after T is a syllable that will come in the parenthesis.
this is
So
so much fun.
how do we
You have to have good ears to hear it.
Yeah.
what should be the convention to split a word for singing, Farishte? What do you
I
suggest?
would say if you have to insert a sound, put it in parentheses, but keep the word together.
You know, you could use a slash.
That's what I do. I use a slash.
Para slash ma slash
Right.
T
A slash like
parentheses
this?
slash.
Oh God, I wouldn't want to sing from that version personally.
Yeah, that's why I say that each one should make their own signs. That's why it's good that each one makes their own signs. If you get a page like this, and when he sings it, and you see where the difference is, and you do your own kind of signing, and that's why it's better than each one does it while Gopal is singing again and again, so you can know where to put whatever sign you want to put there.
So
because that is the problem of learning it.
Do you think the way we have it, singing at Samadhi and Arti and so forth, do you think that's a correct version that they sing?
Yes, yes.
I'm asking Gopi's opinion because he knows the language.
So different people sing it differently. So, for example, I hear most of them singing Mukhtar as Mukhtiar. So there's no
there's a version sung by the women Mandali, and of course most of these women Mandali knew Gujarati. They spoke Gujarati amongst themselves at Merazad. If we can find that version, it would be also so nice to include the MP4 with this when you send it out or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one they play at the Arti, virtual Arti, right?
I don't know.
6
I
p.m.
don't know.
Yeah, that's I asked Angela and she said that was the
women
female Mandali.
version?
Yes, women Mandali and Mandali for singing.
I can, we can attach the MP3 version of that as well.
Okay.
But in that version also sometimes I heard them singing Mukhtar as Mukhtiar, like they sing Mukhtiare Irfatu, and I'm not sure there's a Y there in the word Mukhtar.
It was probably that Hindi Baba
Yeah,
lover there, Hindi Mandali member that just I don't know. I'm just being funny.
Right.
All right.
There is a difference in the way Jahalat and Jallat. So sometimes, and I think we see in the prayer books, it's written as Jallat sometimes without a H, and in some there is a H. So, but then I have searched the word. There's no Jallat. There is a Jahalat, which is ignorance.
Yeah, Jahalat. Yeah, Jahalat is
Jahalat.
also a Farsi word. Yeah.
Right. So there are few. I mean, there can be few differences in the way people pronounce these words, but yeah.
We have to stick to the origin, I think, in order to keep this authentic for posterity. It has to have the original authentic root word in it.
Right.
So then, people can do other versions for phonetic or singing or whatever, but the actual prayer was given in Gujarati by Meher Baba, who knew Gujarati, and that's good to preserve.
That makes sense, Verste.
Yeah.
When I was young and I was fascinated by this Arti, and then I had a Gujarati friend of mine, and then I told that I have a Gujarati song for you that my Baba had written. And when I read this to him, he said, this is not Gujarati at all. So because all these words that are there are Urdu or
Persian.
Persian.
That's right.
Yeah, but it is just a thread that is Gujarati, right? And all the beads are mostly Urdu.
It's
That's
amazing.
how Baba used to talk. He used to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
with
I
the different
wondered because I
languages.
didn't know. I'm like, I recognize almost all the words in this prayer. So how is it that it's Gujarati? Then maybe Gujarati is Farsi.
So how did it get the name Gujerati Arti, or did we just sort of slap that name on it without
Well,
it?
you know, when Parsis or Iranis went to India a long time back, they were all Farsi speaking. They all were that. And the Gujarati really was kind of, I don't know, I don't know the exact historical, but it was brought from Iran to India.
Hello, can I
Gujarati was the adopted language because they
Maru,
came with.
yeah, can I say something? Yeah, can I say something? Yeah, when we came down from Persia, we came down to the shores of India, and then we asked the king over there to take us in because we were running from persecution from Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when the king, some Maharaja, he said, we don't have place over here to take you all in. So we said, give us a bowl of milk. So he gave us a bowl of milk, and we just added a spoon of sugar. And he said that we will mix with you like sugar mixes with milk. And he was so impressed that he took us in. I'm a Parsi myself.
That's a very beautiful story.
Yeah,
And
it's years and years. This is years back. Years,
that is
thousands
the
of.
first migration. There were two migrations. That's why
Yes.
there's a difference in language.
Yeah, we
Because
came in by ship. We came by ship. We ran, and then many of our ships drowned. But at last we reached the shores of India, and everybody refused us. We went to many places, but India took us in. The Maharaja, he took us in, and then we promised that we will not, change them on thing, but we will mix and become like them. That's why we have a lot of, similar things with the Indian people.
Maru,
And so
you born in India or Iran?
Yes, in India. I'm born in India, Mumbai. I'm from Mumbai, yeah.
And of course, your name means moon face.
Yeah, thank you.
And you are.
Yeah, thank you. It's so this is just, I know Gujarati. I can understand Gujarati, and I've been listening to all his explanations. It's very good. But this, prolonging of these verses, when you sing that is Vahat, when you prolong the word, then it just divides into two. But actually, it's just one word, So when you stop in between, it gives you like maybe a her sound.
So Maru, is this Gujarati in Gujarati, all of it, or is it a mixture?
It's a mix. It's a lot of we are, of course, as we are from Iran, we have a lot of Iranian words also mixed with us, and that includes many of the Urdu words. That's why you find a little bit of that included in our dialogue,
Yes.
But we talk Gujarati, so we understand Gujarati very well because we stayed in Gujarat for many years. But now you have them all over the world, Canada, USA, America, everywhere. They have migrated everywhere.
So
is there a difference between the first migration, their language, and the second migration, their language? Like the Parsi and the Irani have different languages?
No, I think we came down as Iranians only, but then we adopted their language. That's why some continued with the Iranian language and some have adopted the Parsi language. Parsi language is Gujarati, same Gujarati. But there are so many Iranians in Mumbai, so many who speak Iranian language. But they all speak Gujarati as well.
Mm-hmm.
They all speak Gujarati.
Mm-hmm.
So
but
when
they
the
have
mic,
kept, yeah.
When the mic, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm
sorry.
When the Parsis came down in the ships, did they go to Gujarat, to that coastal area?
Yes, a place called Sanjan. Sanjan. We landed at Sanjan, a place called Sanjan.
And then So could the Gujarati Arti be referencing the location as opposed to the language itself, or not?
No. The language is because we adopted the Gujarati language. That is Gujarati of the Hindus over there.
So there is a
But it's
Gujarati language of the Hindus that is different than Hindi.
yes,
what
yes,
you're
very
saying.
much so,
Yeah.
very much so. Yeah, Gujarati is having Gujaratis and Hindus speak Hindi. It's the same.
Right.
It's not very different. If you know Hindi, you know Gujarati.
Yeah.
It's not
So
very different.
Gujarati is just the language of people from the state of Gujarat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gujarat. Yes.
Which also has many Hindi and Farsi words in it. Anyway.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of continuation from Iran.
Yeah.
We have many words that are similar. Many words.
Well, I
But
guess that great Persian Empire that stretched from here to eternity was
Yeah.
huge, and it affected, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran,
Yeah.
India.
Yeah, we
all-
migrated to many places. We came down, and then but the first place we stopped was Gujarat, and the major of when we came from there, we have a monument there in Sanjan where we landed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we
Also,
still have.
the
You know
first
how long
temple, the
ago?
first fire temple, right? The
Oh,
first fire temple.
yes, there's so
It's
many
there.
in a place called it's in a place called Udwara. That is Udwara. That is also in Gujarat. We must have changed 4 or 5 places because we brought along our fire with us.
Sacred fire, right.
Yeah, the sacred fire we brought from Iran, which is thousands of years old. I can tell you exactly when we came. I can ask my husband. He is a priest. He is a Parsi priest, so he knows when we came down and things like that.
I would like to know historically when you came first time to Gujarat bringing the fire.
But
One second.
it's two migrations. One at that time with the king, and that's
Yeah.
ages ago, and then another one, another way.
Yeah,
Hey, one
Mikhail,
minute,
you're right.
Madhvi.
Mikhail, you're right.
One
Actually,
minute.
the first
Which year did we come down from Iran? Which year did we come down from Iran first time when we ran away with the ships? Which year?
It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating.
Huh?
Very, very fascinating.
What?
Oh my God, what a blessing.
I think it's 698
910
AD.
BC. AD. 910. We came down. Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
We came down 901. We came down years ago. It's
1,000
And then the
years
second migration, and the second one, another way.
actually, I'm not sure about the second migration, but I think this was the major one, where we came with all our children and our wives and our, the whole lot came. 21 ships, I think, came from there. But I think only 2 ships reached.
Oh my
Because
Wow.
they were all destroyed in the storm. Yeah. And
Oh.
all our scriptures and things, we are very advanced, very, very advanced. It all went, and whatever, only the priests and all, they came over and oh, that's too many years. 900, and we came to Indian shores in 901. Yeah,
Maybe around that.
And
around that area.
so whose persecution were you escaping? The Mughals? The Genghis Khan?
No, this is the Muslims. They said either you convert or we kill you. So they they boarded the ships and they sent all the women and the children and the high priests and all. They just sailed off in 21 ships, big ships we had.
And what is pathetic and sad is that even to the day right after the revolution, they
Hear you well.
the Baha'is, the Zoroastrians.
Yeah. Still, it's.
Who is this me that is causing the?
Yeah, you. I hear you well.
I am going.
Oh, now we can.
Okay, gone is the iPhone. I'm so sorry. I thought I had it under control. My father had the Zoroastrian symbol in our house and marble cut out Gufdarani, Pendarani, Kirdarani.
The Ashofarovar.
Yeah,
the
but
bird.
they went under. They had to go underground, and they had to basically pretend like they were not Zoroastrian.
That they were Muslims. Even now, it's the same thing there. They still persecute them. But
even at the time that Babas. Baba's father came for the same reason.
Yeah.
The same persecution was
Persecution,
there.
yeah. From years together, there was a big this Khomeini. When Khomeini came in, he was very, absolute Muslim. So he wanted everyone to convert. So all our Parsis, the Shah of Iran had called everybody. This is your land. You come here. So many of our Parsis from India had gone back. And when this Khomeini came, he destroyed everything, and he said, and they all, there was a revolution, and then that is your second. When the second lot, all of them who had come here all went back.
Thank you,
So-
Marouk. That is very interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I have one more question for you. You must
Yes.
know the arti that Roshan sang.
Yeah.
That was the most ancient of the Zoroastrian prayers. It was my favorite thing to hear at the arti. Do you know the right name of that one? I keep
Banami Yazdan.
Baname Yazdan, Baksha Yande,
Baname
Baksha
Yazdan.
Yazdan. Yeah.
I am not
You know
sure
it, Gopi? You know it?
Yeah, it's very
No,
very well known.
But I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe it's Avesta, which is the
Yeah.
most ancient language.
Ancient language. Yeah. My husband, he knows Avesta. He has learnt Avesta and Pahlavi. Both he can write and read.
Oh my
And he can-
gosh, he needs to come and give us a talk.
I want to- I
That's
want
what
to
I
hear-
was going to say.
My God,
I
he
want to
won't
hear-
stop.
I
He
want
knows
to
so
hear him
much.
sing
He
the-
won't stop. He's a very introvert person.
I
but when
was
it comes
going
to
to
this,
say.
We want him to come and
Show
sing the
his face
prayer.
for now, today, just one moment. I had to say hello to us.
oh my
Or
God,
to sing the prayer. To sing the prayer.
Berishte.
it's
Hmm.
a
I
very, it's a
think it would
very
be great if we had an interview with her, a recorded
later. Yeah,
interview with her and her husband.
Yeah.
later. Maybe you can let him continue
It's
with
an
his.
idea.
Sorry, I
All right.
stopped you. Sorry, I stopped you from.
No,
this
this
whole
was
thing.
No,
perfect.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the background, for the very
Yeah.
important background, very
Yeah.
enriching.
Yeah.
And
So-
Gopi, wow,
We-
Gopi,
we want
such a
to
good
hear
work
the
you
song.
did.
Thank you.
Thank you very
prayer.
much.
Thank you so,
Thank you. My
so
words
much.
is-
Yes.
Can we have the prayer?
Elizabeth, that prayer is on this DVD. Rainy, that's Roshan there. It's called Song
Oh,
Baba Enjoyed. That prayer is the first song on this DVD.
What is it called?
which?
Songs Meher Baba Enjoyed.
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness. By
Wow.
Roshan. Thank you, Betty. I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Gopal, you braved yourself with all these Western people. Indians deal differently completely. The Westerners are hard-headed. Thank you. You did a great job.
You all did a
Thanks,
great
Baba.
job.
Thank you so much for the dedication and the work you're putting into this, Gopi. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes,
And I
Gopi.
look forward to
My
our
pleasure.
next session
Thank
and the
you.
third version. Do you think ever we'll get to the Marathi Arti? Because I'm dying to learn that one.
In a year.
So what I think is maybe we'll not go through the Gujarati Arti anymore, but I'll come up with these 3 versions, which
Oh,
includes
And
3
just send it out.
syllables.
okay.
And then I will email this to Angela so that it can be distributed to all of us.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Then I think we will go with the Hindi Arti, Divya Sanatana Arti by Madhusudan in our next session. probably.
Okay.
But I have to
Not
express a
Bauji's, not
promise.
Bauji Hindi.
Yeah, we will
Yeah,
get
we
to
can-
all of them probably.
We can do,
But I will have
we
to
can do Bauji's
extract
or Madhusudan's.
that you will do the Marathi Arti also.
Yes, yes. And then we also have the Telugu Arti by Bhaskar Raju. That is also there. We can also do that at the end. Yeah. So
Thank you.
depending on what you all want, we can do the Hindi Arti by Bhauji. That's the Adi Sachetana, or the Divya Sanatana by Madhusudan, whichever.
I love the Bauji Arti. But
Oh.
I want to suggest, Gopi, that you do sing it once. When you send these pages with the divisions, you sing it once so people can follow the divisions and see if they have any questions about it, because that is where the problem is of singing this Gujarati. So do sing it once more when you give those papers with the divisions, so
Right.
people can make their own signs on it.
Gopi, is
Sure.
this a Word file? Are you then? What format are these? What,
Yeah,
if you,
the one that I just showed as a Word file, but I'll probably put into a PDF, which will be easy for printing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very,
Perfect.
very, very convenient.
perfect.
Great.
Thank
Awesome.
you,
We're
everyone.
going to do the Jahan Kalpana.
That's
Sorry.
Bauji's, no?
No,
Bauji.
Jahan
She's talking
Kalpana
about.
is by Madhusudan. Jahan
Oh,
Kalpana,
Okay.
yeah.
So
And
we'll
then
do
Adi
that.
Sachetana is by Bauji.
This would be good too. Okay, as many sessions as we can get out of you.
You've been very generous. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's an
Oh,
opportunity for
Thank you.
me to do
Maruka,
Baba.
it's wonderful to hear.
thank you, Mahuk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank your
It's
husband
nice.
also.
Thank you. Nice
Bye,
meeting you all.
everyone.
I
Have a
hope.
good
Wonderful to
one.
Bye.
meet
That
you
was
all.
wonderful.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Jai
so much.
Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai
What an,
Baba, dear.
what
Much
an
love.
awesome time.
How wonderful. Thank you, Baba.
Very exciting.
Oh my
Like a
God.
teaspoon of sugar in a bowl of milk. Isn't that wonderful?
Who would have thought that we would be attending Meher Baba Graduate School during